Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Matt here with Tanks Lawn Maintenance. It is 1:28 p.m. Thursday afternoon, April 18th, 2024, year of our Lord. And look at this shit, man. Excuse my language. I'm a little irritated, I ain't gonna lie. I can't win for losing with equipment, man. Y'all give me just a second, man. There's a bumblebee flying around in here. I had the garage open for the past 30 or 45 minutes. I hadn't been home too long. I'm done for the day. All I had was a bush job and one decent sized yard to cut. And I'm done for the day. And tomorrow I've got a pond dam I got to weed eat and then 1 yard to mow tomorrow. And can y'all hear that bee? That thing sounds like a motorcycle riding around in here. Dude, he's cutting loose over there. As long as he stays over there and don't come over here bothering me, we good. But anyway, that backpack sprayer, my wand, I was leaving a quote earlier, and it's an old property, a beautiful property, but it's an old property, and it's a widowed woman, and her husband has planted a lot of shrubbery, a lot, I mean a whole lot, and she needs it trimmed. I can't do it. It's just too much for me. I'm a solo operator. It's way too much for me. It'd take me 3 days to cut all them bushes. I'm not exaggerating. It's a bunch. It's probably a 4 acre property, and it's so many bushes that they've just got walkways in between all of it. I mean, it's like 3 or 4 acres, and all of it is bushes. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's pretty, but it's just way too much for an operation like what I have. But anyway, I went to hers and took a look at it when I got done with everything today. And when I was coming back, I was going around a curve, and when I got around that curve, I was in my lane, and when I got into the middle of that curve, there was a car coming at me, a little gray car coming at me in my lane, and it ran me off the road. They wasn't looking. It looked like, from what I could see, it looked like they were digging in the passenger seat for something, not even looking at the road at all. And I had to run off the road to keep from getting hit or killing somebody or something. And when I ran off the road, my backpack sprayer is on the back right hand side of my trailer, and the hose, the way it sits, there's a wand holder right behind it, and the hose kind of curves over the front of the backpack. And when I ran off the road, the hose grabbed a hold of the mailbox, and it didn't break the mailbox. Luckily, it was on one of those T-posts, I guess it was. It twisted it, and it went back into place. I checked it out to make sure I didn't have to replace the mailbox, but the car kept going. It didn't even, I don't even know if they knew I was on the road. Just kept going. But the hose grabbed a hold of that mailbox, and when it did, it yanked it bent the wand. I mean, you see it, just bent it. So that's no good to me. But luckily, that wand is just a $19 part, man. But still, I mean, it's aggravating, you know. It's aggravating. It really is. I mean, pay attention to what you're doing when you're driving, man. You're operating a vehicle. I mean, you could kill somebody, and you're costing me aggravation now. But anyway, enough about that, man. Um, the lady, the lady that I went and quoted this job for, or looked at, I didn't quote it. I just simply flat out told her I recommended her two other landscapers that have pretty good sized crews that could probably get it done for her within a day. But she got mad at me because they need to be cut, and I told her she's a widow, and I told her, I said, look, I said, I'm not. I said, I understand you're frustrated that it needs to be cut. I said, but for one, I'm a solo operator. This is way too much for me. I was like, Monday through Thursday, I'm cutting grass. Friday is when I do my landscaping stuff. And she said, well, this is an opportunity for you to make good money. I don't understand. And I told her, I was like, look, it's not about that. I was like, yeah, this is a chance for me to make some money, some good money. And but for one, as long as it would take me to do this, you wouldn't be willing to pay that price, I'm sure. It'd be over $3,000 for me to cut all these bushes, for one. And for two, I cannot neglect my recurring customers, people that have been loyal to me for the past 3 years, people that helped me start my business. And I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. And she got mad, and she got over it really quick, especially when I gave her 2 other landscapers that she could get a hold of. I kept it as professional as I could, and I really wanted to tell the lady what she could do with herself, but you know, but I understand her frustrations. You know, my mom's a widow, and I get it. You know, she needs it done, and she's frustrated. She's going through a lot. I understand, but I still have a business to run. But it made me think of a video that I watched, and I want to say it was Golf Course Cuts. I don't know the guy's name, but he put out a really good video the other day talking about, are you chasing a dollar, or are you trying to establish a business? And here's the thing, my business model is I am set up to cut half-acre lots and smaller, okay? If it's going to take me more than an hour to do, for one, I have to put you on a completely different day, and I have to charge you a lot more money than what I would normally charge somebody, which is fine. If you're willing to pay that price, I'm fine with that, as long as you understand that going in. And I want to say 6 properties that are on a day by themselves, because they take me anywhere from an hour and a half to 2.5 hours to cut. That's just the way it is, man. And it's like that every Wednesday. My Wednesday is I don't have a whole lot of properties to cut on Wednesdays, but the properties that I do cut on Wednesdays are big properties. They take all day. And most of the time, it's only 3, maybe 4 properties that are getting done Wednesday. It just takes a lot of time to do them. They're big properties, man. But it is what it is, you know. But you have to. It's like Golf Course Cut said. You got to have a business model, man. And what are you wanting to do? You know, when you pull up somewhere, you drop your gate. You've got to have what's called a gate fee or minimum. You know, you need to charge a minimum every time you pull up. Just because you pull up and somebody's got a bunch of lumber or something laying in their backyard, or they got a tree down in their backyard, or they got a huge water leak in their backyard, the sprinklers are busted, whatever it may be. You pull up and drop that gate, you've got to make a certain amount of money. Bottom line, you've got a business to run. We're not hustlers. We're not chasing money. Yes, we are hustling, but that's not what it's about. We're out here trying to establish a business. And that's just the way it is, man. You know, you need to build your business to a point to where you're going to have a set amount coming in every day. And I've said it before, and I'm going to continue to say it. You really need to have your business set up to where you are getting paid every single day. Not just once a month. Not just once on the 1st, once on the 15th, once on the 25th, or whatever. It needs to be every single day. You need to be depositing money into your bank account, whether it be direct deposit, or whether you are going to the bank putting money in, or whether you are mobile depositing checks. Whatever it may be, money needs to be going into your bank account every single day. And especially during the mowing season. But you also need to have money coming in year round. And that's why I tell people all the time, you know, you don't necessarily have to do it with all of your customers, but you need to have some customers that are on what I call a semi-contract, you know, not necessarily under a binding contract, but it's set up like it's a contract, and you have cash flow year round, because sooner or later you're going to have to finance things, and you're going to have to show year-round income when it comes to financing. But the main thing is, you know, you need to set your business up. You need to have a business model, decide what you want to do, the type of work you want to do, the type of lawns you want to cut, the type of people you want to deal with. You need to decide all of that, and you need to stick to it, okay? You need to find out what works for you, what works best for you, that is most comfortable for you in your business. You need to be happy, and you need to stick with it, okay? It may take you a few years to figure out what's best for your business. Like me, I'm still in the learning process. Yes, I'm a full-time landscaper, but I'm still in the learning process. I know well over half of my customers are paying me monthly, and I have money going into my bank account every single day, every month of the year. Now, I'm not at a point where I'm making six figures in my business yet, but I am not far off from it. I'm not far off from it at all. Now, next year I am going to do things a little bit differently. The way it's set up right now is my monthly payers. Man, that bee's going crazy over there. But my monthly payers they're paying me a certain amount to mow. Say it's a bi-weekly cut, okay? They're paying me for 23 services, 23 mowing services. That is bi-weekly from March through November, and once a month from December through February. That once a month, I use my mowers to pick up or either mulch up leaves. Those 3 months, I charge a little bit extra, but that is factored in with the monthly payment. Now, I have them where if they have bushes, they're getting their bushes cut 3 times during the growing season, and that gets done on Fridays, okay? Monday through Thursday, I'm cutting grass. Bushes are getting cut on Fridays, and they're paying for however long it takes me to cut their bushes. They're paying for that, but it's broken down for 3 times over a 12-month period. All that is included, and they're also paying for me to spray their beds, driveway cracks, and sidewalk cracks. All of that. They're paying for all of it. But next year moving forward, some of them I'm going to leave like that. But next year moving forward, the way I'm going to do it is you're going to pay a set amount every month for me to mow. My minimum is $135 a month, okay? But you're going to pay a set amount every month for me to mow. And then I will give you a price for your bushes whenever I quote your property for as they sit at the moment. And I will be upfront with you and tell you if they are overgrown by the time you call me, or by the time I can get out here to cut them, or by the time you call me, the price is subject to change. And you will have to give me a 2 weeks heads up before I can get out there for scheduling purposes. But I'm no longer going to include bushes and all of that in with my mowing package. I'm just not going to do it because it's too much of a hassle. And I was upfront with customers. I actually started doing this last summer. I started doing this, and for the most part it works, but I do have a handful of customers that just don't understand the fact that I cannot cut bushes throughout the week. And they don't like the fact that I'm out there, say, Monday or Tuesday cutting their grass and then coming back on Friday to cut their bushes. They don't like that. And that's just the way it is. I'm sorry. And that's the way I'm going to run my business. And you have to be the same way, Decide what works for you. Don't let your customers dictate the way you run your business. Somebody's going to offer you $100 to cut their grass on a 1/4 acre lot. You know it ain't going to take but 30 minutes. Man, don't chase that $100. If you've got time, if you're not going to neglect something by doing it, go ahead, take that $100. But that goes back to one-time cuts. it's fine as long as you have time to do it. As long as it's not going to affect anything else or another customer, I'm 100% all for one-time cuts. But don't be that guy that lives off of one-time cuts, and don't don't let that $100 bill, somebody waving in your face like that. Don't let that $100 bill cause you to do something that you're going to regret. But it's like Golf Course Cuts said, we're establishing a business, we're growing a business, we are running a business. We're not out here chasing a dollar. We're trying to make a living. But which reminds me, I was talking about I had to go out there and take a look at the bushes at the widow woman's property today. I actually done some work for her daughter or for her granddaughter and grandson-in-law. They are actually they're very prominent people here in the Columbia County area here in Georgia. I'm not going to say their names, but they own a very large business here and they're well known. And I done a bush job and pine straw installation for her granddaughter and grandson-in-law, and very good people, very good people. And they actually offered to pay me a little bit more because they thought that I shortcutted they thought that I shot myself in the foot when I really didn't. I charged by the hour, and I was pretty much right on it. I think I might have missed it. I think I might have overshot the price by about 15, maybe 20 minutes at the most. But they actually tried to pay me extra, offered to pay me extra. But they're great people. But that's how she got my information, and I wasn't rude with the woman, but I was very stern. And that's one thing you have to remember is you don't need to be rude. No matter how bad someone talks to you or how much someone disrespects you, you don't need to be rude. Don't get ugly. You've got to maintain your composure. You've got three things. You've got three reasons why. For one, you're a business owner. Your reputation is everything. If you're like me, you have your information on your shirt or your company name and your phone number on the back of your shirt. The neighbors might hear y'all get into an altercation. They go outside. Next thing you know, you've got a bad reputation with all the neighbors. Another thing is you never know who these potential clients are acquainted with. They may be acquainted with some very high-end people, some very prominent people in your area, and it may be the start. Even if they are rude and you maintain your composure, they may come back and apologize and realize they were wrong, and it may start up a business relationship somewhere else. So you never know who these people are friends with. So that's reason number 2. But reason number 3 is 9 times out of 10, you're on their property. Maintain your composure on other people's properties. Do not disrespect other people on their property. Don't do that. That's not cool. Don't do that. But always keep it professional. No matter how bad it gets, always keep it professional and hope for the best, But if nothing else, at least you'll be able to look at yourself in the mirror and know that you did everything possible that you could have done to do the right thing. But anyway, talking about dealing with certain types of people, you've got different types of people in the world that you're going to deal with every single day, man. Every single day. You've got people that are very wealthy individuals. You've got people that are poor. You've got the middle class man that's looking for a deal. You've got the people that look down on the lawn people, on landscapers. And you've got people that are going through things. There's all sorts of people that you're going to deal with every day. But You cannot let the type of people that you're dealing with dictate your prices, okay? The only thing that should factor in to your price is the area that you are servicing. But even then, you still have to maintain a certain amount per hour. You have to know your numbers. You have to know what it takes to run your business successfully. And if a certain area cannot afford it, don't target that area. As simple as that. Simple as that. But I'm sure y'all remember the video I put out about the lady, her husband just died the week before Christmas. And I wound up cutting her grass. I did a full spring cleanup on her property. And oh my gosh, I was there for 3.5 hours, y'all. It was bad. It was very bad. But the only reason I went the extra mile is because, for one, I was already servicing the property for her husband. And for two, I felt bad for the lady. Felt bad for the lady. But I talked to her. She actually the way I did it is I wrote a message on a door hanger and told her, I said, I need you to call me as soon as you can. And I just hung it on her front door and left after I knocked a few times. But she wound up calling me that evening, and she explained herself to me. She has been sleeping all throughout the day. She's not been awake throughout the day. She's been sleeping throughout the day. She gave me her personal cell phone number. She told me her first name because, like I said, I never did get her first name. Only thing I knew was her last name and her husband's phone number. But she gave me her cell phone number and went ahead and signed her up for, what day was it? I actually serviced her I serviced her 2 Fridays ago. I did a spring cleanup on her 2 Fridays ago. And her next scheduled visit is Monday. Okay? As soon as I got done, when I was talking to her, I told her about the monthly packages, all of that. And she wanted to do the monthly package because it was easier for her to just pay it all once a month. And so that's what I did. I want to say it was like $140 a month. It wasn't outrageous, but sent it over to her. Shot her a text. She texted me back, told me everything looks amazing, and she thanks me so much. It's been 2 weeks. I still have not gotten that invoice paid. Okay, I was actually riding through the neighborhood the other day on the golf cart. It was late in the evening. It was about to be dark, me and my wife, we were just riding around. And lo and behold, rode past her house. She's had a crew over there replacing a retaining wall. There's materials scattered all throughout her property, all throughout it. Heavy equipment all throughout her property. Enormous piles of red dirt all throughout her property. This was about a week and a half ago when I saw that. I don't know if they're still working on this property or not, but I'm going to ride by there tomorrow when we do our weekly golf cart ride on Friday evening. I'm not going to say nothing. Just going to ride past it, see what the yard looks like. And we're going to go from there. If the yard looks serviceable, I'm going to text her. I'm going to say, hey, I've got you planned for Monday, but I really need you to pay the invoice before I come back. I'm not playing these games, guys. I'm not going to let you get 2 or 3 services behind before you pay an invoice. That is not happening. I'm not going down that road with anybody. And I'm not saying that that's the case. She could have simply forgot. But I guarantee you she didn't forget to pay them people that was doing that retaining wall. just kind of stuff we deal with as lawn care providers. And you know, I felt bad for the lady because she's a widow. My mom's a widow. I remember when my grandmother, before she passed, when she was a widow. Guys, you're going to come across widows all the time in your business. Some women don't look at it like that. They don't try to use it as a handicap, but some women do. It's okay to help people out every so often, but you cannot continue to cut people some slack because of their situation. Like I said, you have a business to run. There comes a point in every businessman's life where they have to grow a backbone, stand their ground, and do what needs to be done for the interest of their business. We're not in business to help people or to cut people slack or to give people discounts. We're in business to make money. You have to look at it like this. If the Lord decides to tarry, every single household is going to have a widow at some point or another. We all go through it. All couples go through it. Either the husband or the wife is going to become a widow at some point. So you cannot let that dictate your business. It sucks. It's okay to take the profits from your business that you earn and help people out. But when it comes to doing what you do to make a living, no free services. You cannot do that. But anyway, guys, just wanted to touch on a few things. I'm done for the day. I'm fixing to go in and get showered up and everything. We've got some stuff going on at my wife's school tonight, so I'm gonna get ready for that. And also, I do have one yard that I've been cutting. One yard that I've been cutting every single Friday, and one that I've been cutting every other Friday. My wife and I, we're going to sit down probably tomorrow night, and we're going to talk about it. I'm probably going to stop cutting grass on Fridays altogether, unless I have to make up because of rain. Because I really have to have Fridays for makeup and for landscaping, because that's the way I wanted to set my business. That's the way I set my business up going into this. And I hate to lose this guy. I'm sure it's probably going to happen when I tell him that I'm not cutting on Fridays anymore. But I hate to lose it because it's a very high ticket property. But hopefully the Lord will look out for me, man. I've got to run my business the way my business model is set. That's the only way it's going to work. But anyway, guys, I'm going to hop off here. And look, man, the week's almost over. Got 1 day left. I've said it before. It ain't how you start, man. It's how you finish. But anyway, man, till the next one, y'all keep cutting that grass and keep making that money. I'll let y'all. Bye.